The first person you ever loved was your mother. Before you had words for it, before you understood what love even meant. She was the whole world. Her heartbeat was your first lullaby. Her voice was the only sound that mattered. And in that beginning, something was written into you. A story that would take a lifetime to read. But some stories are not easy to read. Some stories hide between the lines. And the story of mothers and daughters is often one of those. It looks like love on the surface. It sounds like care. It feels like home. But underneath, there can be something else. Something heavy. Something quiet. Something that shapes you in ways you never asked to be shaped. Tonight, we are going to talk about the hidden damage in mother-daughter relationships. Not the obvious kind. Not the kind that leaves visible marks, but the kind that lives in the silence. The kind that hides behind tradition and duty and the word love itself. This is not about blame. This is about understanding. About seeing clearly what has always been there, waiting to be seen. The relationship between a mother and daughter is unlike any other. It is a mirror. It is a map. It is a garden that can grow flowers or thorns, depending on what was planted and who did the watering. A mother looks at her daughter and sees herself, her past, her future, her fears, her hopes, and a daughter looks at her mother and sees what she might become, what she should become, what she must never become. They are bound together in ways that fathers and sons rarely are. Their bodies once shared the same space. Their hearts once beat in the same rhythm. This closeness is beautiful. It can also be dangerous. The hidden damage we are talking about is not the absence of love. Most of the time, it exists because of love. A love that does not know how to let go. A love that asks too much. A love that gives too much of the wrong things and not enough of what truly matters. Let us begin with the mirror. When a mother looks at her daughter, she often sees a reflection of herself. And if she has not made peace with that reflection, things get complicated. If she carries insecurity about her body, she might project that onto her daughter. If she fears failure, she might push her daughter toward perfection. If she never felt good enough, she might need her daughter to be good enough for both of them. This is called projection. It happens when someone takes their own feelings and places them onto another person. A mother who hates her own weight might constantly comment on her daughter's eating. A mother who felt stupid might obsess over her daughter's grades. A mother who felt invisible might need her daughter to shine so brightly that the whole world notices. The daughter receives these projections without knowing what they are. She thinks she is fat because she is fat. She thinks she is stupid because she is stupid. She thinks she must perform and achieve because that is what good daughters do. She does not realize that she is carrying someone else's baggage, that the voice in her head telling her she is not enough is not even her own voice. This is how insecurity passes from one generation to the next. Not through genes, not through fate, but through the quiet language of expectation and disappointment, through the sighs and the silences, through the things said and the things left unsaid. The projection is often invisible. The mother does not see herself doing it. She thinks she is helping. She thinks she is guiding. She thinks she is protecting her daughter from the pain she herself experienced. But protection born from fear creates its own kind of damage. A mother who was mocked for her intelligence might push her daughter to be quiet, to be agreeable, to not threaten anyone with her brightness. A mother who was rejected for her ambition might discourage her daughter from dreaming too big. Stay small, stay safe, stay invisible. These are the lessons passed down in the name of love, and the daughter absorbs them. she makes them her own. She does not realize she is living someone else's story, that the limits she feels are borrowed limits, that the fears she carries were planted in soil that existed long before she was born. A daughter raised this way learns to see herself through her mother's wounded eyes. She learns that her body is a problem to be fixed, that her worth is measured by her achievements, that she exists in some deep way to make up for what her mother could not be. This is a heavy coat to wear, and most daughters do not even know they are wearing it. They think the weight is just part of being alive. They think everyone carries this much. They do not realize that some people walk through the world lighter, that some children were allowed to simply be children. The coat becomes invisible. It becomes part of the skin, and only much later, sometimes decades later, does the daughter begin to wonder why she is so tired, why she feels so heavy, why she has been running from something she cannot name. Now let us talk about the good daughter. In many families, there is an unspoken rule. The daughter must be good, she must be helpful, she must be easy, she must not cause trouble, she must make her mother proud, she must make her mother's life easier, she must in some ways take care of her mother. This is called parentification. It happens when the roles get reversed, when the child becomes the caretaker, when the daughter becomes responsible for her mother's emotional well-being. Sometimes this happens because the mother is struggling. Maybe she is depressed. Maybe she is in a difficult marriage. Maybe she never had anyone take care of her, so she does not know how to do it for herself. Whatever the reason, the daughter steps in. She becomes the listener, the comforter, the one who holds things together. This might look like maturity. People might say the daughter is wise beyond her years, but what it really is a theft of childhood, a theft of the freedom to be messy and selfish and young. The good daughter learns that her needs do not matter, that her job is to manage other people's feelings. That love is something you earn by being useful. She becomes an expert at reading the room, at sensing what others need, at disappearing into the background so that someone else can take center stage. And later, as an adult, she might find herself in relationships where she gives and gives and gives, where she loses herself in the needs of others, where she does not know who she is outside of being helpful. The good daughter becomes the good wife, the good friend, the good employee, always serving, never asking, never quite feeling like she deserves to be served in return. She may not even recognize her own needs. She may have learned so well to ignore them that they become strangers. What do I want? She does not know. What makes me happy? She cannot say. What do I need? The question feels selfish, dangerous, wrong. This is the cost of being good. The self gets sacrificed on the altar of someone else's comfort. And the sacrifice happens so slowly, so quietly, that no one notices. Not even the one being sacrificed. Now let us enter darker territory, the silent competition. There is an old fairy tale about a queen who could not stand to see her daughter grow more beautiful than her. You know the story. The mirror on the wall, the poisoned apple, the jealousy that turned murderous. We call this the Snow White complex. And while most mothers do not try to poison their daughters, the underlying dynamic is more common than we like to admit. Some mothers feel threatened by their daughters, not consciously, not in ways they would ever say out loud, but somewhere deep inside, they watch their daughters bloom and feel themselves wilting. They see youth and possibility and remember what they have lost. They see beauty and feel invisible. They see potential and feel finished. This can come out in subtle ways. A mother who never quite compliments her daughter. a mother who finds flaws where others see perfection. A mother who seems happiest when her daughter is struggling and most distant when her daughter is succeeding. The daughter picks up on this. She learns that her shine makes her mother dim, that her success creates distance, that there is not enough light in the room for both of them. So she learns to shrink, to dim herself, to fail on purpose sometimes, just to make her mother feel better. This is a wound that cuts deep, because a daughter is supposed to be able to grow without guilt. She is supposed to be able, and a daughter's potential. Let us talk now about boundaries, or rather, the lack of them. There is a word in psychology called enmeshment. It describes a relationship where the boundaries between two people have dissolved, where one person does not know where they end and the other begins. In enmeshed mother-daughter relationships, the mother treats the daughter as an extension of herself. The daughter's thoughts, feelings, choices, and opinions are not her own. They belong to the relationship. They must be shared. They must be approved. This can look like closeness. People might say they are best friends, that they tell each other everything, that they cannot imagine life without each other. But there is a shadow side. The daughter in an enmeshed relationship does not develop a separate sense of self. She does not know what she likes outside of what her mother likes. She does not know what she believes outside of what her mother believes. She cannot make a decision without checking in. She cannot feel a feeling without wondering if it is the right one. This is different from intimacy. Intimacy is two whole people choosing to be close. Enmeshment is two people fused together because neither can stand to be alone. The daughter raised in enmeshment may struggle as an adult. She may feel anxious when she is alone. She may panic when she disagrees with someone she loves. She may have trouble knowing what she wants because she was never allowed to want anything for herself. She may feel guilty for having private thoughts. She may feel like she is betraying someone simply by being separate. The very act of having her own opinion feels like a crime, a violation of some unwritten law. Relationships become traps. Intimacy becomes suffocation. She craves closeness but fears it at the same time, because in her experience, closeness means disappearing. Closeness means giving up the self she barely knows she has. The saddest part is that enmeshment often masquerades as love. The mother is not trying to control. She is trying to connect. But her connection requires consumption. It requires the daughter to disappear. And now we arrive at the inheritance. All of this pain, this projection, this parentification, this competition, this enmeshment, it does not start with your mother. It started with hers, and her mother before that, and her mother before that, going back generations, going back to women whose names you will never know. This is called the mother wound. It is the pain that passes down like an heirloom no one wanted. It is the unspoken rules and unhealed hurts that shape how mothers love their daughters and how daughters learn to love themselves. Think of it like a river. The water flows from one generation to the next, and whatever is in that water, the toxins, the pain, the fear, it flows too. Your grandmother poured her pain into your mother. Your mother poured hers into you. And unless someone stops to clean the water, it keeps flowing. It keeps carrying the same old debris. Your mother was once a daughter too. She had a mother who had her own wounds, who made her own mistakes, who passed down her own pain. Your mother is not the origin of the story. She is just another chapter. Just like you. This does not excuse the damage. Understanding is not the same as excusing, but it does help you see the larger picture. It helps you feel compassion for the woman who hurt you without meaning to. It helps you see her as human, flawed, limited, doing her best with what she had. And it helps you see yourself differently too. You are not broken. You are carrying something heavy, something old, something that was placed on your shoulders before you could say no. But here is the good news. You can set it down. We have arrived at the breaking of the mirror. There comes a moment in every daughter's life when she must make a choice. Will she continue the pattern? Will she carry the wound forward? Or will she do the hard work of healing? The first step is recognition. Seeing clearly what was done. Not to blame, not to punish, but to understand. You cannot heal what you cannot see. And for many daughters, simply naming the wound is revolutionary. Simply saying, yes, this happened. Yes, this hurt me. Yes, this shaped me in ways I did not choose. That is the beginning. The second step is differentiation. This is the psychological term for becoming your own person. Separate from your mother. Separate from her pain. Separate from her expectations. Differentiation does not mean cutting your mother off. It does not mean hating her or rejecting her. It means establishing boundaries. It means knowing where she ends and you begin. It means being able to love her while also loving yourself. Being able to disagree with her while still respecting yourself. This is hard work, especially for daughters who were raised to believe that their separateness was betrayal, that their boundaries were rejection, that their individuality was abandonment. But it is necessary work, because you cannot heal a wound that someone else is still picking at. You cannot grow into yourself while someone else insists you remain small. You cannot find your own light while living in someone else's shadow. The first boundaries might feel like earthquakes. After a lifetime of fusion, separation feels violent, wrong, terrifying. You may feel like you are dying, like you are killing something sacred, like you are becoming the worst version of yourself. But you are not dying. You are being born. The death you feel is the death of the old patterns, the death of the false self that existed only to please, the death of the daughter who never got to be a person. On the other side of that death is life, your life, the one you were meant to live. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it is survival. It is saying, I love you, and I also need to love myself. It is saying, I will not carry this weight anymore. Not because I do not care, but because I cannot carry it and also live. Some mothers will accept the boundaries. They will recognize their own patterns. They will do their own healing. They will meet their daughters in a new place, a healthier place, where love does not require sacrifice. Some mothers will not. They will feel threatened. They will push back. They will accuse their daughters of cruelty, of ingratitude, of abandonment. They will not understand. They may never understand. And the daughter must make peace with that too. She must grieve the mother she wished she had, the mother she deserved, the mother who might never show up. This grief is real. It is deep. It does not mean you are weak or ungrateful. It means you are human. You wanted something that was not given. You needed something that was not there. And acknowledging that loss is part of the healing. The grief may come in waves. Some days you will feel free and light. Other days you will be pulled under by the weight of what you never had. This is normal. This is how grief works. It does not move in a straight line. It circles back. It surprises you. It finds you in moments you thought you had moved past. Let it come. Let it move through you. Do not fight it. Do not judge yourself for feeling it. The grief is evidence of your capacity to love, and that capacity is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. But grief is not the end. It is the middle. On the other side of grief is freedom. freedom to become who you were always meant to be, freedom to write your own story, freedom to break the chain that has bound mothers and daughters in your family for generations. You can be the one who stops the pattern. You can be the one who does the healing, not just for yourself, but for the daughters who will come after you, and for the mother inside you, the wounded woman who still lives in your bones, who still needs your compassion. Because healing is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. It is about choosing differently. It is about catching yourself when you start to repeat the old patterns and saying, no, not this time. You will not do it perfectly. No one does. But you can do it intentionally. And intention is everything. Here is the final thought. The relationship between a mother and daughter is complicated. It always has been. It always will be. There is no simple answer, no easy fix, no way to undo what has been done. But there is this: understanding. Understanding that your mother was a daughter once, that she was shaped by forces she did not choose, that she passed on what she had, even when what she had was pain. Understanding that you are not responsible for her happiness, that you cannot heal her wounds, that your job is not to complete her or redeem her or sacrifice yourself for her peace of mind. Understanding that you are your own person, that you have the right to your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own life, that boundaries are not betrayal, that separation is not abandonment, that you can love someone and still protect yourself from them, and understanding that the pain you carry is not a life sentence, that the patterns can be broken, that the mirror can be shattered and rebuilt, that you can find your own light, even while acknowledging the shadow of the past. The wound may never fully disappear. Some scars stay forever, but scars do not have to define you. They are just evidence that you survived, that you lived through something hard, and that you are still here, still breathing, still becoming. Your mother gave you life. That is true. But how you live that life is up to you. What you carry and what you set down. What you pass on and what you release. These are your choices now. And that is the deepest truth about mother-daughter relationships. The bond does not end, but it can transform. It can become lighter. It can become yours. Tonight, as you rest, think about your own story. Think about what you were given and what you chose. Think about the weight you carry and whether it still serves you. Think about the woman who raised you and the woman you are becoming. What do you carry that was never yours to carry? What beliefs about yourself were planted by someone else? What version of yourself have you been performing, and who were you performing it for? These are not easy questions. They are not meant to be answered in a single night. They are invitations to a longer conversation, a conversation with yourself, a conversation that may last the rest of your life. There is no rush. This is the work of a lifetime, but you have already begun, simply by listening, simply by wondering, simply by allowing yourself to see what has always been there. The hidden damage does not have to stay hidden. Once you see it, you can decide what to do with it. And that seeing, that choosing, that is where healing begins. The light is waiting for you. It has always been waiting, underneath the weight, behind the mirror, beyond the patterns that were never yours. You deserve to find it. You deserve to live in it. You deserve a story that belongs to you. You are not alone in this. Every daughter walks this path in some way. Every mother carries her own wounds. We are all connected by this ancient thread, this complicated love, this beautiful, painful, necessary dance. Find compassion for yourself. Find compassion for your mother. And know that the road forward, however difficult, is yours to walk. You have survived. You have carried weight that was not fair to carry. You have loved people who may not have known how to love you back. And you are still here, still breathing, still reaching for something better. That reaching is everything. That reaching is proof that the wound did not win. That the pattern can break. That you are more than what was done to you. The mirror is broken. The garden is waiting. The story is not over. It is just beginning, and you are ready. The mirror is yours to remake now.